I'm Eric Freshley. I'm coming to get you. We're going to talk about the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase coming up here in a few days, a week, I believe. And I got a few predictions for it. Gonna be great. But something I always forget to say when I make a video specifically for YouTube, because this channel is mostly live stream archives, but every once in a while I'll do something specifically for YouTube now. Subscribe, please, and comment, and share with your friends. Do all that stuff. That's kind of the only way I have to grow at all. So that would really be helpful. I would appreciate that. Let's talk about the Xbox, and technically it's Xbox and Bethesda Showcase, which is a damn mouthful, but that's what they call it. All right, let's start off with a crazy one. Let's get nuts right off the bat. Let's get insane. I think this is inevitable to happen at some point. I think this showcase might be too early, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Xbox Live Gold dies, goes away. Multiplayer is free for everybody, just like the old days. And just like it is on PC right now with Xbox, and just like it is on the cloud right now with Xbox. So really, console players are the only ones paying for multiplayer, and I don't think that fits into what they want to do. And I think as they grow out into the cloud, into PC, eventually their console players are going to start to get pissed off about this. And so they're going to nip it in the bud. And we know from reporting from like Jeff Grubb, this is something they want to do at some point when Game Pass hits a certain threshold. And I think they're going to maybe pull the trigger a little bit early, since this year is looking a little light for first party, or very light for first party, I should say. So I think this is a goodwill thing they could do. Now, that begs the question, though, because they got two tiers of Game Pass, right? They got Game Pass Base, and they got Game Pass Ultimate. Game Pass Ultimate includes Xbox Live Gold, also includes Game Pass for PC, Game Pass for console, and EA Play. Now, if you don't play on PC, and you don't care that much about EA, there's nothing keeping you at that upper tier. You're probably just going to say, well, multiplayer is free for everyone now, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop down to the base tier. I'll lose out on PC, but I'm not a PC player. I'll lose out on EA, but yeah, that's not that big a deal. So I think they need to add something else to that upper tier to keep people at that, and I think that's going to be Ubisoft Plus. They have a subscription service, as we know. It's already on Xbox, and they've been adding some Ubisoft games like Assassin's Creed, rather. Assassin's Creed Origin is coming in a few days. Rainbow Six Extraction launched on Game Pass. Rainbow Six Siege is there. For Honor, now the Ultimate Edition of that is on there. So they've been kind of leading up. Ubisoft and Game Pass have been snuggling up more and more. I think they're going to make that official. Ubisoft Plus will be added to the upper tier of Game Pass, and multiplayer goes free for everybody. Like I said, I think the multiplayer thing dying is inevitable at some point in the future. Might be a little too early now, but hey, let's get crazy. I'm making that a prediction. Also, since they lost Redfall and Starfield for this year, I do think they would want to get some more big third-party games on Game Pass, on day one, rather. Now, that's not easy to do, because it takes a lot of money, but I mean, they have a lot of money, but it also just takes convincing to the publishers of these games that, hey, this is the right thing to do for your game. And if they think they can sell enough on their own, for a lot of them, they're going to be timid to do that. But I got a list of games that I think are possible. And then at the end of this list, I will tell you which one I think is definite. Gotham Knights is possible. Marvel's Midnight Suns, possible. No More Heroes 3, that's already out on Switch, but it's coming to Xbox. That could be on their day one. The Cuphead DLC, along with Cuphead base game, that's coming in a week or so. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. It's coming this month. Hollow Knight Silk Song, that one's a wild card because that's not even announced for Xbox yet. But Hollow Knight, the original Hollow Knight's been on Game Pass for years now. So they do have a relationship there. Hollow Knight is Team Cherry, who develops Hollow Knight. They're okay with Game Pass. I don't know if they necessarily be okay with doing it on day one, but maybe with a big paycheck they can. However, none of those are my actual prediction. My actual prediction is Saints Row. The reboot of Saints Row. It has a big co-op component. That's how I play Saints Row when I've played a little Saints Row. And this one, the reception's been a little tepid, so I think they They might not do as strong as as they wanted to, just sales wise. So this might be a way to alleviate that. And like I was talking about, co-op games do very, very well on Game Pass because you don't have to convince 3 of your friends to spend $60 or $70 to buy the game. It's just there for all of you as long as you have a subscription. And then you can. So it's super easy to get a group together. That's why they did Back 4 Blood on Game Pass and Rainbow Six Extraction and many other co-op games. Dark Tide's coming this year. The next one. So a couple years ago, Xbox was the first console to get PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now it's also on PlayStation, but they had it first, and then they also had it on Game Pass soon after that. I think it was only out on Xbox without being on Game Pass for like 3 or 4 months. So it was a big success for them. I think they're going to try to do something similar with another game that's very big on PC. They want to try to get it to console before anybody else. And I got, just like last time, I got a list of a couple things that I think might be eligible. V Rising, that's brand new, so I'm a little iffy on that. Lost Ark, that one's free to play, so that wouldn't be on Game Pass, but could be on console first with Xbox. And Valorant, but Valorant is, it's Riot. They're not famously on consoles, but League of Legends is getting Wild Rift, which is out on mobile now. That's supposed to come to console at some point, so they're warming into consoles, but that's a very PC-focused game, so I'm a little bit unsure about that one. But none of those are the actual prediction. The actual prediction is Valheim. I think Valheim is going to come to Xbox before the other consoles, and I think they're going to put it on Game Pass. And that's another big co-op game, and you just heard my reason for that before. Next one, 1 versus 100. We kind of have heard it's coming back from Jeff Grubb. I think it's going to be revealed, and it's going to drop that night. The night of the show, we're going to be playing 1 versus 100, which, boy, I can't wait for. Next one, Xbox has been in the habit a little bit of trying every year to reveal one Japanese game. It's usually multi-platform, but that you would maybe not associate necessarily with Xbox, such as they did Devil May Cry 5, they did Sekiro. Both those were revealed on the Xbox E3 show. So I think they like to do that just to try to change the perception a little bit that a lot of Japanese games skip them. And I think they're going to do it again. I think we're going to see the first... They've done a logo tease, but the first real trailer of Dragon Quest XII. Not that it's not going to be exclusive to Xbox, don't get me wrong. It's certainly going to be on PlayStation and Switch as well. But I think they're going to show the first real trailer on an Xbox show just to make the statement of, hey, we got JRPGs. Even though they kind of half do and half don't. But they want to make that statement anyway. Next one is about Sea of Thieves. Last year had Pirates of the Caribbean content in there. And Sea of Thieves is really cooking this year with a lot of like mini stories they're doing every couple months. It's really kind of crazy, but I think there's going to be another collaboration, another Disney collaboration actually, and I'm going to say that's going to be with Hook, the Robin Williams movie about Peter Pan. I think that's going to get content in Sea of Thieves. Whatever, that's just... I made that up out of nowhere, but hey, it's Disney, just like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's pirate themed. I think it makes sense. It's not as popular as Sea of Thieves, especially not today, but it does have it does hit a soft spot with a lot of people. Last one, specifically to Xbox. I thought I had one more, but now it slipped my mind. No, I do have one more. Well, okay. Cyberpunk 2077, I think it's now in a state that is good enough that they'll be proud to put that on Game Pass. I think that's going to happen also on that night. I also think they might have a trailer to show the whatever the new DLC is going to be for that. But more importantly, Cyberpunk 2077 on Game Pass that night. And this is less of a prediction for the show, but I just want to kind of sum up since losing Starfield and Redfall this year, a lot of talk about how Xbox doesn't have any first-party games this year. It's not true they don't have any, but they certainly don't have a lot. I do want to kind of wrap some up, though. Forza Motorsport should be this year. Pentiment, which it's officially unrevealed, but it's a Obsidian game led by Josh Sawyer, very much inspired by Disco Elysium. Smaller scale, but and that is going to be revealed at this show, and it hopefully comes out this year. They're planning on it coming out this year. I shouldn't say for sure. They were planning on it coming out this year a while back. Whether they still are or not, fingers crossed. And Project Belfry, is from Stoic Studios, the makers of the Banner Saga. That's supposed to be also unrevealed officially, but it's supposed to be a brawler, co-op brawler with a lot of RPG elements, maybe some base building elements, and it has apparently an art style very much inspired by Studio Ghibli. And Princess Mononoke, I believe it's pronounced. So that seems really cool, and that should hopefully be this year as well. +1 versus 100. There's also rumors of a Gears collection. I hope that's real. I feel like there's one I'm missing. And there's also some time exclusive with third parties, such as Dark Tide, Slime Rancher 2. Actually, Slime Rancher 2 I don't think is time exclusive, but it is day one on Game Pass. What I was forgetting was that story-based game. Oh, darn it. No, I forget the name. But it's a new studio, and it's a story-based game, kind of a lot like a Telltale game or a Life is Strange game. What is the name of it? Well, that's going to drive me crazy, but there is one. And that's going to be this year, too. That could actually also shadow drop that night, although I think it's less likely. There's also been a lot of talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake or Persona 5 also coming to Game Pass. I don't know if I believe either one at this point. I would say just my gut tells me Persona 5 is a little more likely in a Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't know. They could both be there. They could neither be there. That's really a coin toss to me. Last thing I want to say, and this actually is not for the Xbox show. This is for Summer Games Fest, which is a couple days before that. I believe, since Smash Brothers doesn't have character reveals anymore, I think Multiverses is going to have a big character reveal. I think it's going to be Rick from Rick and Morty. So that'll be fun to see. Anyway, that's my predictions for the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. As Dusk Falls. That's the name of that story game. As Dusk Falls. So you got Forza, Belfry, Pentiment, As Dusk Falls, 1 vs 100. Plus all the third-party deals they've made for this year. Like, not a huge year. Not like next year's shaping up to be. But I don't think that's a terrible list if they all hit. If one of them slips, and especially Pentiment and Project Belfry are not even officially revealed yet, they could slip. Even Forza could slip. And it's going to be looking a little tougher. But we're all going to survive it. You know, we're going to have plenty of games to play anyway. Anyway, so that's all I got to say about the show coming up in a week now. Get excited for it. Goodbye.